Hey guys, what's going on? Back at you here with I think part 11 of this, and we're really starting to make some progress now. I've been out here working for a bit, and we're getting ready to start working on port and loading wall. So the weather's good finally for a change. We've had consistent 2 weeks of nice weather, so we're getting a lot done now. So we're getting ready to start on that, so stick around. All right, guys, when I left off here, I don't think I had started putting on the front of the box here. Hear how solid that is. Man, I cannot believe how solid this is. But anyways, and that leads me up to the port where I'm going to start making this loading wall. Everything is to spec from the design that Drew Jones at Basscop gave me, except for a couple minor tweaks. He had a design for the entire front wall to be solid, but with the sides of the port, I don't know how easy it would be for me to get in there and change the sub, so we're going to change it up just a little bit, but the dimensions and specs are still going to be right on as far as that goes. So I don't think actually making what I guess you'd call loading wall is going to make that much of a difference here. So I've already got some of the wood cut out for it here, so we're going to get this thing put together. Sorry about that, guys. I get a little ahead of myself. I forgot to do a little bit of filming. So what I've got going on here is I got these done. I got these curved here on each side to match the angle of the Blazer there, and I got them glued and screwed together. Now what I'm doing, I'm cutting out my ported area. Now this port's going to be 30 by 12. Yeah, 30 by 12. So I already got it marked out, and I already made 2 cuts here. And now I'm going to make a 3rd cut. Get the length of this. Now I want to keep this as straight as square as I can. So I did a redneck way of making a guide for the saw. That way I can get my cuts perfect. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. Is I'm going to try and rig up a way to make this cut right here perfect. That way when I actually attach the rest of the port, because it's going to go into the box somewhat, everything will be nice and square, and it won't be screwed up, and I won't be trying to fix it and make it look good. Let's see if I can get this cut out now. Okay, guys, remember a few episodes back where I showed you the redneck way of ripping a board with a circular saw? Well, this is going to be the redneck version of how to cut this port and keep everything straight. As you can see, I've made a couple jigs here. That is going to run my saw, keep everything nice and straight and in place. So let me set this up on a tripod and see how this does. Well, I think it works pretty good. That's dead on. And that looks like that's going to be dead on. Alright, I think that works pretty well. Now what I'm going to have to do here is obviously I can't get the circular saw to make a perfect 90. So I'll just finish that out with a jigsaw. That shouldn't be too bad to do. But yeah, just a redneck way of doing things. When you only have a circular saw, a miter saw, a jigsaw, and a sander. That's all I've done this with, besides my drills. That's all I've done this whole thing with, guys. I might be some dumb, but I'm not plumb dumb. So I finished this out with a jigsaw, and I don't think it did too bad. Obviously the blade is not as wide as what the circular saw blade is, so I'll just take my sander here, and I'll just knock that down a little bit and make it look nice. But I'm curious to see what this is going to look like now, so let's throw it in real quick. Just set it up in there and see what it looks like. Well, that's what she's looking like. That's just set up in there. That's not secured or nothing yet, guys. I just wanted to see what it was going to look like. Let's come around, view this from the other side. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's see what it looks like. All right. This seats ain't gonna block too much, I suppose. So now I just got to get the rest of the port cut out. That shouldn't be too hard. It's only going to be like 8 inches deep, I believe. But I'll oops, sorry about that. I'll make up a little bit of bracing just to hold this a little bit better, and I think I'll do the this whole face in vinyl. What do you guys think? Still got some trim down here to do, go around the tranny hump there, and some trim work to do right here, but shit, that won't take but a matter of an hour to knock that stuff out. Vinyl it up, and I'll put my other trim back in, and shit, guys. Paint it, get that vinyl work done. Shit, the front's done. I mean, it's that simple. Work on doors. So at this point, I would say I'm 75% done with this build, which is sweet. Alright, let's see what else I can get done. Alright, working on the port now, and this is the bottom section of it, or at least the one that's going to be the most visible, I guess. But anyways, the port is 30 by 12, so I believe that equates out to be, off the top of my head, what, 306 square inches of port area, because this is going to be like a 3-to-1 ratio, fourth order that Drew Jones made up for me. So I got this piece cut out and glued and screwed together. So now I got my 2 side pieces to attach to it, and then we'll attach that to the loading wall. So there's that one. Now we're going to get the other 2 put together here. All right, guys. I've been out here working quite a bit tonight. Didn't do a whole lot of recording because, I mean, I just building these ports, you know, things, whatever you want to call them. So it's done. The enclosure's done. I got a trim piece down here to put in, but that's no big deal. But the enclosure is officially done, and this is just sitting in here for now. This is actually going to be bolted to the rest of the block there. I got a couple little gaps towards the back. I don't know how I ended up with those, because everything's square, so that could be the roof itself. The roof may be a tad bit out of square, so I don't know how I'm going to fix that just yet. I'll figure something out for that. I might just go ahead and seal it up with some PL or something like that, because I didn't know for sure if I'd be able to crawl in here or not to get to my subs. to change them and load them and whatever until I got this done. So, you know, I got it done. I got it sanded down, make sure everything looks nice and flat and flush, and the best I can anyway. Here, let me walk around, because I'm going to call it night after this. I am so happy that this is actually done. Here, get a better view here. So basically all I gotta do is make some trim panels and paint and vinyl, make it look pretty. So that's done. So now all I gotta do is work on the back, get the amp rack complete, get my doors done, and this thing's going to be playing, guys. So I'm ahead of schedule now from what I intended to be. It's May 7th right now. So I've still got a month and 2 days, or actually a month and 1 day before I have to leave for Slam. So it shouldn't take me a whole lot longer now, realistically, to finish this up. So like I said before, that's 306 square inches of port area, with the port being 8 inches deep. That gives it a tune of I think it was 44 hertz. So hopefully this thing will go ham and just do absolutely stupid. And there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be louder than it was before. So we're going to call it quits. I'm going to wrap it up and put everything away, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow, guys. I got my panel made for this here now. Just go over that training hump and cover that up. We'll wrap that with vinyl or something. I don't know what I'll do with it yet. So now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at, I slapped this back up here, plastic trim piece in here. Kind of got it cut out so I can figure out how I'm going to do. I'm going to do something here to cover this. I don't know if I'm going to try and follow a curvature and make it look something, or just go straight up and down with it. But it's going to have to, just using this as a guide right now, it's going to have to go over to the panel anyway. So just to hide that little bit there. So I might have to get me a piece of cardboard and stick it up in there and trim it out. Find my all my curves and stuff here. But that's where I'm at. I dropped my sub, or a sub, in each hole just to make sure that everything fits correctly. Marked it out where the edge of the sub is so I know where to set them, because they're going to be inverted. And I got all the holes filled in. So we're going to work on getting that sanded, everything sanded down real smooth there so we can get the paint on it. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the port, if I'm going to wrap it in vinyl or if I'm going to paint it. Still got to figure that part out yet. I might just wrap it in vinyl, because I think I'm going to do the roof red. I'm not 100% sure yet, because the inside of the box is definitely going to be red. Might just do the ceiling red too. Do this in gray. That way there's a little bit of a contrast to it. And looks like the UPS man's here dropping stuff off for me. You guys may remember an episode or two ago where I was talking about I bought some different brand of resin, and that was the resin I was working with on my doors and the side of this, some of this here, and I was having a lot of problems with it setting up. That's if you guys remember it, if you've seen that particular part there. I talked to a couple people, and I think the hardener for that resin was bad, because I only had a couple batches that I mixed up. I actually even set up halfway decent. So it's caused me real havoc inside the box here. As you can see, it looks like the inside of a New York City subway bathroom. And it never dried. It never really set up, except for some of it, and it stayed tacky. No matter what I did, it stayed tacky. Even mixing up a little batch with a lot of hardener and going over it again, it still didn't set up. So it's caused me a lot of problems, and I've went through, I don't know how many discs for the sander trying to knock some of this down, because it was gumming them up. But I've got it. I've been out here for about 2.5 hours now sanding on the inside of this, and I think this is about the best it's going to get, guys. I'm not too happy with it, but you know, shit happens, and we'll just see what happens here. So I'm going to get this thing swept out real good. You can see that there is a lot of dust where it did sand a lot of this down. So I'm going to get a lot of this swept up real good, and I'm going to try throwing some paint on it in some places here, and see what it looked like. Okay, so I ended up having a can of the red paint that I was going to use for this. I didn't know I had it, so I figured, oh, what the hell, let's see how far I can make it with one. And you know, I'm not happy with it, but I guess it's not that bad. I mean, you can see some pits and shit like that, but obviously it's going to take more than one coat to get this. So I guess it ain't going to look that bad once I get you know, a couple coats on it. You know, I mean, you ain't going to see all of it anyway, especially once the subs are loaded and the loading wall's on. You know, realistically, you're only going to see, you know, the corners, and I guess, yeah, maybe they look the worst, but I don't know. But that was only one can, so I'll buy a couple more cans. And like I said, I didn't even know I had that. I just started going looking through, and I found it, and I thought, oh, what the hell, let's see what it looks like. And I guess, I know somebody will say, you probably should have hit that with some primer. Yeah, probably. Thought about that halfway through when I seen some of the dark spots coming through, but you know what? Oh well. The hell with it. I mean, it can't be any worse than that resin not doing what it's supposed to do anyway. So, you know, like I said, you're not going to see all of it. So maybe after I get a couple coats on it, it won't look that bad. Or hell, I might even hit it with some textured paint, go over it with that, and then hit it with the red again. I don't know. Just playing with it, basically. See what it ends up doing. Alright, well, like I said, I'm out of that paint. So I guess I'll do a little bit of work on this loading wall here. Alright, the loading wall and port is completed 100% now and is ready for paint and vinyl. And I am, if anything, last week and doing a lot of this stuff, I am very pleased with the way this has turned out. Very pleased. Got her all sanded down and looking good. So I'll get some vinyl on it. The front of it's going to be vinyl, and the port itself, which, you know, realistically is only 8 inches, it's going to be painted to match the box. I think it would look tacky to vinyl it or paint it and stick it inside the red box. I just don't think it would look right. I don't think it would look very good as a transition from the front into it. That's just my opinion on that. But yeah, this thing is nice and smooth. You know, I'm kicking myself in the ass for using that damn resin in there. I should have just resined the corners like I did to start with, and sand it all down, and just not even pissed with trying to resin the inside to gain those extra whatever. Now it kind of looks like shit. Hopefully I can cover it over with a couple more coats of paint and make it look halfway decent. Slap some lights in there, maybe you won't see a lot of that with the glow. But yeah, if anything, I guess it gives it character. As long as it plays loud, plays good, that's all that matters. And I will assure you that's the only thing that's going to be screwed up looking with the rest of this. Ordered some goodies just today for my amp rack. I'm going to try and do something unique and different with it too. Got a pretty cool idea that me and a couple of people talked about and they never really seen. But I won't really know for sure if I'm able to do it until those parts come in. I get everything put together, or start putting together, start measuring some stuff, see how it works out. But the loading wall was done, and I was going to paint it tonight. Maybe I should have saved some paint so I could paint it and slap some vinyl on it. But I'm out of paint, so I can't put vinyl on it till I paint it. Alright, after that dried, I went ahead and finished sanding this out around my windshield there. I think that's going to look pretty cool. A little different. I mean, it's nothing major, but I think it looked pretty cool once I get everything painted. Because as you can see, if you're sitting in it, you won't be able to see the sheet metal. This is about where your eye view is going to be. You ain't going to see no sheet metal. And in the event that I would have to put a stripper pull in, which I absolutely do not want to do, I've already got me a nice big solid base right there, and I can just put a stripper pull, run it to the front of the damn box, I suppose. Don't really want to, and I hope I don't need one, because I'm hoping that wood sealing should be pretty sweet. So everything's sanded. So tomorrow I'll pick up some more paint and get this thing painted up, get the vinyl done, and I could put this thing together, get it cleaned up on the inside, everything to be done on the front then at that point, except for the doors. So it's a Friday evening. Yeah, I've been out here for about 5.5 hours now working on all this, so I'm gonna call it a wraps for the night. The wife came out and asked me if I was gonna be done for the night, so I think I will, and I think I'll go in and get cleaned up and spend a little time with her. So we'll pick this back up tomorrow. Got some more paint after work today. So it now has 2 coats on it, so I guess it'll look alright. And it's probably going to take another coat. That baffled dough. Man, I should have just left that raw wood. Kick myself in the ass for resin that thing now. I've never had this much trouble. But it is what it is. Like I said, I guess if anything, it gives it character. And as long as it plays loud, who gives a shit, right? I kind of do, because I still like my stuff to look as good as it sounds, but that's just me. So, and I got gray paint that the ceiling and the rest of the pieces that I'm making for it are going to be in gray. Kind of keep the red gray theme going here, along with the gray vinyl that's going to be on the front of it here. And started painting on the port too. I got a half a can left already. They only had 3 cans at the hardware store I went to. So we'll see how much I can get with this last half can. I think I'm pretty much covered out here with that. But I mean, I guess if I have to make a late night run to Wally World this evening after it gets dark, I will, because I don't work tomorrow, so it's gonna kill me if I have to run to Athens, which is about 20 miles from here. Well, I got lucky and I found another can of paint that I didn't know I had. I'm kind of a pack rat sometimes when it comes to keeping things, so I'm glad I kept a hold of that. So I pretty much got it painted here. That's as good as it's going to get, guys. I wish it was smoother, I wish it was better, I wish it was just like that baffle, but it is what it is. So I'm going to work on moving on to making some of these other trim panels up here, trim pieces, for the front, or goes up, that'll match up to the front here, just so it covers that gap there where you see the sheet metal and the wood there, the red between the rubber seal. I'm trying to cover that up the most I can, and I don't know how much work I'm going to be able to get done because I hear thunder. Might get some thunderstorms, so that's as good as it's going to get, and I might as well just move on and take it as it is. Just as I'm getting ready to start cutting, I got like 5 trim pieces to get cut. It starts raining. Go figure. So we'll take a rain break, and I guess while we take a rain break, we'll acknowledge some things here. My sponsor, Audiopipe. Custom electric alternators, Jonathan Patrick. Hit him up for all your alternator needs. The Blazer has 2 of them on there. Drew Jones at Bassaholic Productions. Jason Predieri at Extreme Autoworks in Mansfield, Ohio. Don't forget him. Duralast batteries. I'm not sponsored by them, but might as well acknowledge them because that's what I run. What else am I thinking here? Say Audiopipe, Drew Jones. I don't know. That's pretty much it, really. So, take a break here. See if this quits raining. I mean, it almost blue skies again. Especially that way, it's really shining. And it's just one of those things, so I had to hurry up and clean everything up. Nothing gets wet. But man, guys, I'm so close to getting this thing done now. I mean, you know, the next day or so I will have the inside done besides the doors. I've changed direction with them yet again. I'm not going to do a glass smooth finish on them, even though this one is almost there. I've changed direction, and there's like 1 or 2 other people that's kind of done what I've done, so not copying, but I like it. So I'm going to try that technique of I'm not wrapping it, I'm not wrapping them, I'm not carpeting them, but it is going to be a textured surface, I guess. So besides that, you know, I'm almost done with the inside, and it won't take but a day or 2 to finish out that back end. I did order, well, might as well acknowledge Jim's Machine Works. I ordered the quadruple amp rack. Going to try something in the back of it with that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it exactly or not, but I was talking to one of my other teammates, Ben Irby, and he thinks it'd be pretty trick, so I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off or not, if I got the room back there. But regardless if I'm able to do that or not, I'm still stacking those amps. just for the purpose of room, and it will help them with heat dissipation. So, but man, I got to get this thing cleaned up. This thing has been sitting basically in this spot, besides the 2 times that I had to move it for the flood. It's been sitting in this spot for, you know, a little over 2 months that I've been working on this, since I started you know, my teardown series, tearing it all apart, and got grass growing around it where I mowed around it. And once I get that thing clean or done and cleaned up, I got to get my daily cleaned up, you know, and my other daily cleaned up sitting over there. They all need some serious cleanings. There's the stupid dogs. But looks like the rain may be letting up. I'll give it a minute here. Yeah, it's really getting blue now. We'll give it a minute here and see if I could drag everything back out and start cutting again. Alright, it's been a couple days since I worked on the Blazer here. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I promised my wife that I wouldn't touch it as a part of her Mother's Day. So I did not touch it. I did not do anything to the Blazer yesterday. So I resumed operations today, and I've been out here for a few hours now working on things, and then I think about it, and I'm like, holy shit, I haven't recorded anything tonight. Which isn't that big a deal, really, because all I've been doing is making these pieces for the roof. And these were a pain in the ass to cut, as usual. So I got this all cut and cut the fit and everything, and so I've went ahead and started painting some of them. So as you can see, they're gray because my interior is gray, so that's what we're going to go with, is gray on that. And you know, like we left off with the box being painted, so we got the roof painted here. Very pleased with how it's turned out. So we're gonna probably get another coat on this after it dries. Now if you're looking at the transition from gray to red and thinking, Jesus God, let me see if I can turn the light on. I don't think I can, but the transition isn't real great. It's because you're not going to see it once I get everything in here and that loading wall's up there. You won't see how it goes together here, or you won't see the shitty, I can't talk. You know what I'm trying to get at. Alright, so, you know, basically it's a beautification process. I got this painted. That enclosure's painted, the ceiling's painted. We'll do another coat on it. I got 2 coats on those pieces there. Basically get the loading wall done. I'm gonna wrap it in vinyl, and basically the front is done now, guys, besides the doors yet again. But that's where we're at. We're getting closer and closer every day. Working on getting some second and third coats of paint on these pieces that I made here and on the roof, which I don't think is looking too bad at all now. So we'll wait for this to dry, and we're going to clean things up a little bit. I'm going to start putting in some more trim pieces. Some of these trim pieces, plastic trim pieces here, and then I'm going to start wrapping some vinyl on the front here and on the front of the loading wall, and probably start cleaning this thing up more, because like I said before, essentially the front of it's done. And I may start loading some woofers tonight. I can crawl through the port enough to put these in, but it may be easier just go ahead and initially set them in here and start getting them set. That way I'm not doing so much through a port. That's where we're at the moment. Alright, so I measured out the loading wall with it in, and I figured out where I'm going to put all my bolts, because this is actually going to be bolted in. So now I'm working on getting this wrapped here with the vinyl. As I said before, all paint is done on the inside. So I got that and this to get wrapped, and then I got 2 trim panels and I'm putting right here, and the front is done besides the doors. We'll load the subs before I put the wall on. Probably get those wired up. It'd just be easier to do it with the loading wall off, even though I could climb in it. But that's where I'm at. So we're going to finish getting this cut out here and get some glue down and start getting it stretched. I'm running out of daylight, but as you can see, there's starting to be a different contrast to it now. It's not just a wood. The edges here ain't going exactly as I planned, so I might have to trim these with something. Don't know what just yet. I'll figure something out. I thought I'd be able to cut this smoother because I bought some pretty expensive vinyl. That stuff is like $8, or no, take it back. It was like $13 a yard, so this wasn't the cheaper stuff that I've used in the past. But that's almost done. I got the panel on the, I guess you call the sealed side and over the tranny hump to do yet. I wanted to get all those done tonight, but I guess if I got all the painting done and at least the loading wall done, I'm happy. And as you can see, I don't know if you could see, there's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole. They're every 4 inches for the bolts that's holding us down. So it's where we're at. It's where we're at. Focus. All right, guys. I'm getting a little bit of more vinyl work done here this evening. I'm only doing about 3 minutes at a time in here because it is so stinking humid that I start sweating and dripping all over the place. So I get out for a minute. But getting some more of this vinyl work done here. I got this lower piece done. It's in the garage there. Wanted to get this done and I can snap that back in place. And then probably load some subs, put the front wall on, and we'll start getting this thing cleaned up because we're essentially done, as I said before. Okay, this is sealed, yeah. This is wrapped. This came out better than I thought it would, actually. So I got that all done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go grab the sweeper and I'm gonna sweep this out real good before I put this other panel in. Once I put that bottom panel back on, like I said, I only got a trim piece to do right here and a trim piece to do over on the other side, and essentially the inside's done. I gotta load subs. I may start on those tonight. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm gonna run my wires and where I'm going to run them through the box and all that yet. So I'm still going to think on that. I'm going to jump on doing that just yet. So I'm going to get some of this other stuff done. Yeah, all right. So I got those done. Got this thing swept up. Man, these carpets really going to need a scrubbing once I get everything done. And I clean this thing up real good. But those are in now. Took me a little longer than I expected, plus we had a satellite appointment again because we've been having continuous satellite problems, so I had to help the satellite guy with this and that and accessing things at the inside the house. So, but anyways, so I got this done. And I don't think I'm going to get the subs in tonight like I wanted to, but that's alright. But I'm pleased at this point. So now all I have to do is make these trim panels that go along here and cover all this stuff up once I get the loading wall in. So, and I was working on the doors earlier as well, so I was bouncing back and forth working on this and working on the doors and helping the satellite guy. But yeah, boy. So drop me a comment, tell me what you guys think, minus the dirty carpet. Even though it's swept, it needs scrubbed. And drop me a comment and tell me what you think of that. And that was about the only way I could think to do that. Like I said, once you get the loading wall on it, I think it'll look pretty trick. And I'm the vinyl type of person. I like the vinyl. I guess I could have carpeted it or shagged it, as a lot of people like to do, but I like the vinyl look. I think it looks more professional. And I'm pleased with that. And it matches the interior somewhat. I didn't want it to be, well, I wouldn't say I didn't want it to be. I could not find an exact match to either the plastic trim or, say, the center console there. But I think it all contrasts good with this gray up here. I mean, I got a variety of light gray and dark gray. So I think it'll look alright. Plus my doors are going to be gray. So that's where we're at, fellas. I attempted to do a test fit of the loading wall last night before it got dark, because I wanted to see how it fit at this point, and then B, this trim panel here that goes up on the B pillar there, I needed the loading wall up there so I can make my marks on it, so I can trim it so it fits like this one does. But anyways, I never thought about or accounted for when I wrap these panels the size difference it was going to make in putting these together. So now it doesn't want to go in all the way because of the vinyl wrapped around it. So I'm going to have to compensate for that somehow. Now I got to pull this thing out again and work with the vinyl a little bit more. But like I said, guys, it's basically done besides door panels and these two trim panels here. So I'm going to work on that. That seam right there, so that wall will load in there. So we're going to start loading subs after I get that and make this trim panel, and we're going to make these trim pieces here. Okay, this is the first look here. I got that trim piece around the seat belt there trimmed and snapped in place, so that's what it's going to look like here. So this is basically first look of the wall, I suppose. Now I got to work on these trim panels and bring them out to about here, I think. Yep. Now these should go away, because if you're seeing these like I can, that is where the bolts are going to go to bolt that on. So that should flatten out. It shouldn't be that big of an eyesore. So that is just sitting in there for now. It's not bolted down, obviously. Just to get a look here. Okay, it's been a couple days since I filmed. I've done some work, but I haven't filmed nothing. So what I'm doing today is I'm making some of the trim panels that I've explained many times that going to go up the side of the enclosure here. Now I have started to load some subs. Didn't mean to leave that sitting there. I've got some subs loaded here. I got 5 of 8 in. I'm going to order, or I already ordered 3 more. It's not that the subs don't play. I got a couple of them that I'm just going to order 3 different ones, 3 new ones, and I'm going to drop those in there as well. I'm going to keep those other 3 as backups. They play. A couple of them, I don't know. They're not bad. They make a funky noise when you're moving a cone. It might not be anything when you're moving a cone by hand, but I went ahead and ordered 3 more just to be on the safe side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have those 3 as backups. I'm going to take them with me to shows. That way, if I go down a sub or something like that, with this setup, it won't take long to pull a sub and drop another sub in there, and then I could just keep going. So I figured it'd be a good investment to just get a few more just to have on spare. So what that'll actually do is that'll put me up to a total of 4 I have as backups. So I think that'll get me through. But I'm working on these panels here that go here, and that shouldn't take me very long at all. It'll probably take me longer to figure out these curves here, which I'm going to go off an old trim panel that I had. Hopefully it'll match right up pretty quick, and I can get those trimmed out and get them wrapped, and then we'll move on from there. So I've been at this way too long. This thing has been a pain in the ass, as usual. Take it out, trim it, put it back in, take it out, trim it, put it back in. And that was even after going over one of my old panels over here. So it's one of those build things where something you think is going to be pretty simple to do is not simple to do. But I think I got it here now. That's just sitting there. It's not screwed in or nothing. Go around here. Maybe get a look at it from the other side. Now I got that one up there. That's just temporary. But I put the wall one so I know where to go. There's subs in there, guys. Check it out. But now that I got that all trimmed out, this side should be quick and easy to do because it should be an exact copy. But my luck, something will be different, and I'll have an extra hour in getting the damn thing to fit. But it's getting too dark on me now. I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to get up early and start on things. Since I'm getting so close to getting done with things here. So I'm going to get this wrapped up tomorrow. And we'll continue working on the rear. Working on the amp rack there. I got some brackets and whatnot coming for that. That way we can get that buttoned up. So I mean, getting close, guys. We're getting real close. I'm getting antsy. Damn. So really the only other thing I'll have to do is I'll have to figure out where my holes are for my bolts to bolt that loading wall on. I'll have to figure out where those are and cut out for them or drill out extra big for them or whatever I'm going to do with that. I haven't figured that out yet, but we'll go call it wraps for the night, come back out and hit this again in the morning. Alright, like I said, since the last one wasn't an exact copy of this, I'm going to have to do this one just like I did the first one, and that's going to be little bit by little bit at a time. So I've already started making some cuts here, and as you can see I got some lines here. I'm just trimming a little at a time until I get it to fit, and as you can see that's last night's work there. It took me about an hour to get it. I'm in no rush because I'm kind of right where I want to be anyways as far as getting this thing done. So ain't no rush, might as well get it done right like the first one. and I'll go in here and show you guys the how it turned out. So I think it turned out pretty well. So we'll get that wrapped up after we get this one cut, and we'll go from there. Alright, this panel is starting to take some shape now, and I figured out why it wasn't going to be an exact match as the other side, is because around the window on the passenger side there, near the rear little side window there, there's a oh shit handle on the passenger side, and there's not one on the driver's side. So that's what's got me kind of all screwed up, because it's some of that plastic's molded a little bit different. I didn't pay close enough attention to that, but like I said, we're starting to take some shape here. And I finally got this damn thing cut out. It took a while. You can see that's a lot of damn trimming. But anyways, so I'm getting it laid out here, so I know where to cut these slots here that I'm putting in, so I can get to those bolts and make it look like the other side. So we're getting it laid out here. Got it measured out. So now I need to get my lines put out there for those slots, or whatever you want to call them. All right, so we got these all cut. Just get them wrapped, and the front is done. I don't know if we're going to wrap them now or start working on the back. I think I might start working on the back. All right, the batteries are all wired together. I don't have them hooked up to the front yet, because I'm going to fuse them. Because I don't run Team No Fuse. But anyways, I got one more ground to hook up, and I'm waiting for it to cool down there, because I just made the end up on it. But other than that, these are all hooked up, besides the grounds that like I said, got to get hooked up here. So I'm going to start framing this out here. Different plan of attack here from a couple episodes ago, when I started doing some of this, and I was going to angle the amps and that sort of thing. Change of plans. All the 4Ks are going to be stacked. Going to try something that I don't think anybody has done yet. I'm not going to say just yet, because I don't know if it's going to work yet or not. But I've still got to get this framed out. Finish getting this framed out here, so I can stack them no matter which way I end up doing it. I still got to have a framework here to cover these batteries up, and, you know, beautify it, and blah 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 blah. And I'm still foaming a little at a time. I believe that side's sealed. I believe I got like just a couple more inches to get there on that side. So, and that foam is growed, so we're going to trim that flush with the edge of the box there. I'm going to start working on some of this framing, and I'll check back with you once I get some of that done. So I want to check in here before I get a little too ahead of myself here. I'm working on this framework here. So what I'm working on is I'm boxing this out because there's going to be a flat panel that goes all the way across here. So I wanted to get it up enough off the batteries that I'm going to make a panel here that I can pull that off and just throw my chart. I'm going to make a panel that goes across here, because the board, or the flat piece I'm coming, is going to actually come out here just a little bit further. Then there's going to be a panel that goes across it to cover it all up. But what I want to do is I want to make it easy, so I can pop that off. I can throw my charger on there, and I can charge the batteries before a show, during a show, whenever. So that's kind of what I'm doing right there. So I'll show you what I'm going to do here by putting this together a little more. But I want to check in real quick before I got too far ahead of myself. Alright guys, I believe I'm going to wrap it up for the night. this is where I've gotten now. Gonna wrap it up for the night, get some of this crap cleaned up, put away. I'm tired of putting it away in the dark, so it's not quite dark yet. So you can see this is solid. I can move the whole Blazer. I can rock the whole thing back and forth. That's pretty solid. It'd be a good base. I may put another one right down the middle, just for that peace of mind. Those 4Ks weigh about 40 pounds a piece, so 4 of them in there. You do the math on that. Plus the 4-channel, the 2504, which I think it comes in at about 25 pounds. So that's a lot of weight and amplifiers. That's where I'm at. I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Been out here for about 8 hours today working on stuff. Doesn't look like much, but there's actually quite a bit of stuff here. And I've stopped every now and then and went inside, you know, got to go do this or that, and stop to eat, stop to get something to drink. But got quite a bit done today. You know, like I said previously, the front's done. I just got to wrap those other 2 panels and the doors. So I mean, I'm like 85% done with this now. So we're going to call it a night, and hit it again tomorrow. Alright, we're going to call that a wrap for this one. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support. My watch time still keeps going up and up, guys, so I appreciate the time that you guys have taken to watch my videos. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying them. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my other social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's it. All those are in the description below. The links to them are. So like I said, I appreciate it, guys. And until next time, it's Basscop, and I'm out.